The rumors of the 49ers trading for Christian McCaffrey, they are getting traction. Now, how about if we bring to the table a different name that it might be interesting for the 49ers? And that player, it is Antonio Gibson from the Washington Commanders. Similar skill sets than Christian McCaffrey, younger and healthier than Christian McCaffrey. Now, what are some of the factors that they can facilitate these trades, or they can complicate these trades? In the case of Christian McCaffrey, we know that the Panthers, they are in full rebuild mode, right? They went and trade already Robbie Anderson. They have some problems there leaving the field. It was a weird situation. We have the situation of the quarterback with Darnold and Baker Mayfield. Back-to-back years, they went and they trade for a quarterback that they thought that it was their franchise quarterback, and it didn't work out. So they might be thinking about tanking right now and go into the draft with more draft picks. So that might be one of the situations that facilitates the trade for Christian McCaffrey. Now, the Panthers, they want multiple picks for Christian McCaffrey. Not only multiple picks, but they want first rounders. And we don't have first rounders. So what else we can offer to the Panthers that they might be enticing for them, and they trade Christian McCaffrey? Other situation that might facilitate the trade of Christian McCaffrey, it is the relationship between the Shanahans and the McCaffreys. We know Ed McCaffrey played for Mike Shanahan in their time with the Denver Broncos, and the families there are close. And now, right now, they might be in talks about rebuilding the contract of Christian McCaffrey to make it more team friendly for the 49ers. Now, in the case of Antonio Gibson, we don't know if he's available, but if you are going to pay that steep of a price for Christian McCaffrey, you can make a similar offer to the Washington Commanders that they might be interested in moving Gibson. Now, Gibson, younger, healthier than Christian McCaffrey. And Antonio Gibson, in their college ranks, he was not only a running back, but he was also a wide receiver. So if we are looking for a player that has similar skill sets than Christian McCaffrey, one of the best options that we can get out there, it is Antonio Gibson. Now, there is another factor, very important factor in the case of Antonio Gibson. We remember Mike Shanahan and Kyle Shanahan, they were respectively the head coach and the offensive coordinator in the Washington a couple of years ago. And at the moment of their exit of Washington, it wasn't in the best terms. So that might complicate the situation with Antonio Gibson. Might be that the Washington Commanders, they don't want to make any type of business with the Shanahan family or the 49ers. So we don't know. That might be a situation that complicates the trade of Antonio Gibson. Now, in the same situation, the Washington Commanders are than the Panthers. They are terrible this year. They went and they got Carson Wentz. We've seen what is happening now. I mean, Carson Wentz, it's been very bad for the Washington Commanders. So they might be thinking in tanking for next draft. Trading a player so important as Gibson, it might hurt, but they can get some draft picks that they might rebuild the team for next year. Now, there's another very important factor. We know Tony Gibson, he is 1,000 yards running back. But this year, he hasn't performed as other years. So that price, it might go a little bit cheaper because he hasn't had the production this year. So we have pros and cons in each one of the situations, but the most important factor for me, it is that Christian McCaffrey, it is injured prone. He cannot stay healthy for a complete season. We don't need more injured prone players in the 49ers. One of the main reasons why we let go Raheem Mostert, it was because he cannot stay healthy, being one of the most electric and dynamic running backs in the NFL. And we can see that now in Miami, he's playing good and he's fast. We need more speed from the running backs. And it's the same situation with Christian McCaffrey. Why you will bring a player that is injured prone, that it will have a lot of missing games for the 49ers at a so high of a price, not only paying money, but for the picks that you are going to trade for. And in the case of Antonio Gibson, it might be that we are going to pay also a very steep price, but at least we are going to have a younger, healthier player than Christian McCaffrey. So for me, it makes no sense bringing Christian McCaffrey. Like I said, there's so many factors that can facilitate the trade for Christian McCaffrey. He wants out of the Panthers, the connection between the Shanahans and the McCaffreys, the rebuild the contract to make it more team friendly for the 49ers. All of these factors, yes, they might facilitate, but you are not getting a reliable player. You cannot rely on players that they are injured prone. Now, in the case of Antonio Gibson, you will have it in his last year of his rookie contract. So you might have to pay him very good the couple of next seasons to keep him in the roster. So we cannot trade for a player as an Antonio Gibson and pay a lot of picks and then let him go. We cannot bring him for a rental to the 49ers. Absolutely not. So very interesting situations. Again, I would rather go for Antonio Gibson than for Christian McCaffrey. Let me know what you think. Comment down below. Subscribe. Hit the notification bell. And like always, see you in the next one.